Hello, hello, and welcome back again to Bishop Chapter. It's been a while. I've been meaning to make this video for well over a week, but I've been so wrapped up in actually working on it and getting new stuff in. It's finally gotten to a point now where I think I can show this and have it be some substantial progress from the last time it was seen. So yeah, here's the main menu. I'm just gonna jump straight in like we did last time and run through the level as it stands. But it's gonna look slightly different to how you saw it last time. Let's do it. So yeah, found a bug at the end, which I'm intending to fix as soon as possible. But that's it as it stands at the moment. I don't really know where to begin, to be honest, because there's so much that's different from last time. It's mainly, I guess, the first standout thing is that everything is textured and everything is cel-shaded and has this black outline around it. That was a post-processing, a long process that, yeah, I finally got working in a way that I'm happy with. There are a few little shadowy glitches. When you turn, it lights things in a certain way, as you can see on this globe. The shadows change depending on the angle that you're looking or the distance away from it. I'm not sure if that's something I can fix. I think it's just going to be a necessary evil, but I'll definitely put it to the list and look at it at some point. I've also implemented an interaction system like you saw with this document here. You can find things like this around the map and pick them up and have a look at them, turn them around. I was thinking of maybe putting some clues in through this system. For example, you can pick this up, turn it around, and on the back there'll be something that you wouldn't be able to see unless you'd picked it up. Maybe a clue to a puzzle. I've implemented the light switch to yeah, basically do what light switches do. Turn the lights off and on. And I've got this chessboard working now. So if I just kind of open it up, you can see it's all about setting visibility depending on what the player has and what the player's placing. So we've got 2 black pieces on there already, and there are 2 white pieces, but they are invisible. And when the player places or interacts with this object, if they have collected the bishop piece and the bishop piece is not already placed, then it will set the visibility of the bishop piece to appear. And then when the player has bishop 2, it's the same code. It recognizes the bishop 1 is already down, so it places 2. In this sense, it kind of does limit you to the order in which things are placed, but that's absolutely fine by me. It works. What else have we got? Got new animations on these, the drawers and the cupboard. So I'm probably going to put this document into the drawer in the final game. I'll have something on the desk maybe. But it's just there for testing purposes. Got this textured up. Got the scales on here. I've put this light bulb in. I think that's new since last time. And yeah, there's everything's just kind of coming together for this room. I'm probably about at the stage that I can move on to another part. I do want to get these walls textured and unwrapped, and I want to get some spotlights out here on the main area. One thing I do want to show you actually. So So first up, when you walk, there's footsteps now. It's probably harder to hear in this room. Let me just quickly solve this puzzle so I can take you outside. Let's go this way. So there we go, footsteps. I've got about 8 or 9 random single steps and a system that then every time, or every certain interval, it plays one of those 9 steps randomly. I've got it set to stop when the play is falling. And then I've got a lovely grass one for when we're on the mud and the grass. Just adds that extra bit of realism. Something you wouldn't really be conscious of when you're playing, but that would definitely be noticed if it wasn't there, if that makes sense. So, that is that. There's not really a whole lot to talk about compared to last time, mainly because this was all just texturing the models that you've already seen. So everything that I can possibly show off that's new is right here in this in this one frame. But yeah, I'm going to be moving on now to... I'll probably draw up some concepts for the next theme. If you think back to the first dev diaries, I talked about the 3 themes that would come together: the ancient Egypt theme, suburban theme, and the industrial theme. I've got concepts for all those sort of in mind, but I've only really fleshed out the ancient Egypt one, as you've probably seen in a recent episode or on the Instagram, where I'm posting all the visuals and the artwork. So I might look into the suburban stuff now and get these roads sorted. I don't like the way they've been placed here already. There's a lot of since I've taken jumping out of the game, there are a few issues in spots where you wouldn't be able to get onto the road, such as here. You just literally cannot jump over this, so you'd need to walk all the way around and find some sort of lift. There you go. You could probably get onto it there, maybe. Definitely here. But anyway, the next building I was thinking of focusing on after that was this one. There's going to be a puzzle involving the lake, and I think that'd be a cool one to focus on, just to sort of change the scenery, mainly for myself. I've been stuck in that little room over there for what feels like forever. I guess I'll talk about these post-processing things quickly as well. So they're just post-process volumes, and they are responsible for the way that the visual information is relayed through the screen. So without these two, the game looks very different. But it's hard to tell because it doesn't really it doesn't really update the visuals just by disabling the visibility. You can see it's doing something. It's just not doing everything. Yeah, one of these controls the cell shading, the way the shadows and the light interact. It's a tritonal system. I found a tutorial for setting this up, which is in my resource playlist on YouTube. Everything I've used to aid me in making this is there. And to be fair, like 90% of the stuff that I've done in this has been through help from tutorials, because that's basically just how you learn this. Everything I already knew going into this, I've learned from tutorials in the past on other projects. So that's just how it works. So the one controls the cell shading, and the one controls the black outline. And it also there's another one built into that does the line trace on objects then to highlight them. So yeah, I mean, the amount of time I've spent on that one room, it's easy to think that it's going to take me ages to get through the rest of this map, but a lot of these buildings are going to be inaccessible and just environmental decoration only. Just for now anyway, just for the sake of the deadline, which I can now say I've found out to be the 4th of February next year, 2022. So I've got just over 2 months left before I have to submit this. And considering how far I've come in just a month working on this, we can get some very decent headway done. Especially considering that the majority of this past month I've spent working on things that are just permanent mainstays of the game. And by that I mean models, post-processing things, placing things, texturing things, you know what I mean? So not that much time has been spent on the actual programming of the puzzle. So now that everything is set up, I don't have to set it up again. I just have to focus now on the puzzles and implementing them in. There'll be a bit of modeling to do here and there, so I'll have to model this building, but I don't think it'll take me that long. But I do want to get some visual reference and research development done as well, just to sort of cover my back on that end, rather than just make it up as we go. And yeah, I need more lights in the scene for sure. It's super dark. But yeah, it should look very good very soon. Now that that room's done out of my hair, I've got some things I want to do on the interaction system to polish that off, because there's a lot of code involved in just picking up this one document. I'll see if I can show you. It's not going to be on this, is it? It's going to be on the character blueprint. So there you go. I put a little note here: work out better system to regulate item interaction. So this entire bit of code here is just to make that one document work. It's easy enough just to copy this code across for every object that I want to be interactable, but I think there's a better way of doing it, and I'm going to look into that. So it ends up just being, you know, something like this, and the code is all there, and then it just accesses a database and it picks which object to grab the details from, rather than having to specify that it's this one document, if you get me. So the way it works essentially is that the document and the plane. So the plane is a black translucent sphere with a low opacity, so it just darkens the screen behind the document when it's being inspected, but it's basically constantly pinned to the first person camera, and when you interact with it, it just sets it visible and movable. But I'd rather not have, you know, every single item that can be inspected in the game just hovering here, invisible. So yeah, that's a thing I'll have to look into, but it does what it needs to do for now. I do need to move on to something else, and hopefully these dev videos shouldn't be this far apart going forward. it depends really how much I want to show in them, how long I want them to be. I'm not sure what you prefer as a viewer. Do you prefer these ones that have a lot of difference in between, or do you prefer more frequent updates with minor differences? I guess sound off in the comments. Even though these videos are just, yeah, not really for anyone. They're for me, they're for the project. If you watch them, that's cool. And I hope you've been enjoying them so far. I hope you're excited to see what this looks like in the next few weeks. And I do want to also get a test build, a playable build of the game up online for anyone who's following the project. I've seen a big spike in followers, which is pretty cool. Anyone who's interested, I guess drop me a message and I can sort out a list of people who I'll be sending the link to when the game is playable. I will need to beta test it, or even alpha test it, because I'm sure there are a lot of bugs that I haven't found yet that are easy fixes. I just need to know about them. Yeah, that's all I've got to say for this one. Thanks for your patience in waiting for it. I hope you're enjoying how it's looking, and stay tuned for some artwork next, I guess. Should be good. Bye bye. See you next time.